Welcome, guys. Welcome back again. So today we will discuss about Abandonment. So I've been watched this movie long ago when I was in my school. It was by Katie Holmes. The Abandonment, I guess. So that was the real movie. I don't recollect it right now because I lost that touch of watching movie. But I'm a very movie freak, very much inspired of watching or interested of watching Hollywood fictions, any movies which has got a little bit of understanding or more of love stories which are exceptionally beautiful, and any stories which can inspire you and touch you, and especially Hollywood movies are my favorite movies all time. um, and even Chinese movies. Sometimes the Chinese fictions and Chinese movies uh, can also impact your mind. And I don't know, some of the stories or some the way they direct the entire movie, maybe um the screen, it looks so magical that it really impact you to the core and transform you. So I'm very fond of Chinese fictions, Chinese movies or series, and also Hollywood movies. So I stopped watching a lot of them, but whenever I get a time just to go through it, these days I'm very much addicted towards YouTube and watching tarots and all. But I cannot read tarot. I don't know, somehow the other way it just stopped me. So I don't understand why I cannot. But I keep watching, navigating what's gonna happen next day, and it's really pretty waste of time and energy, which I wanted to change my routine, and come to the point of knowing through the movies what can inspire your life. Guys, movies are the best example. Like even in my school times, I do remember that our school teachers used to take us one particular day in the entire year, that they will show us on a big screen projector any movies of your choice, and you choose the best movies and you keep watching it and enjoy along with your friends. So that's amazing. And also in the business process outsourcing companies, they do have the sense of transforming your mind or your personality completely into the operations or into the process by watching, by making them showing the screen of movies what they wanted to watch and how they should be acting and taking their role ahead. So most of the time we see this movie, Spartan, uh, 300. So that is because we all have to fight and we have to conquer the world. So that's a movie we all, most of the time our team leaders make us to watch. But yes, there are some great movies also which is worth watching and can be more inspirational. Like I don't recollect a few of the names, but those are very famous movies, which can actually change your mind towards certain aspects of the operations. And in order to do that, watching movies is really great, and not just watching your movie stars. So the real story can impact your life. The real frictions, the way how the movie is directed. I'm so fascinated with direction. I don't know why, but I'm a director's girl. I like to not just watch or praise the movie actor because they act because they wanted to act, but I'm very fond of directors. Like the movie like Manichita Thara was like amazing movie, and anytime you watch, I believe I could have watched this movie over 500,000 times. Every time I come to Kerala, I watch this movie, and that really inspires me to the most. But every time I watch that movie, the way the actor Mohanlal have portrayed that particular character as a psychiatrist, and the way Shobana acted in that movie as being a psychologically imbalanced person, and as a psychopath. So it's something um, is worth watching and worth learning, because that movie have really given me that insights to learn about mind and how you can depict minds, how strong you should be as a psychiatrist and involved with people's emotions, observations, personalities, and dialogues, and detect what actually is your hidden, emotions are, and replace it with, your clinical dialogues, and understand in which cluster it fall into. Like there are clusters of diagnostic and statistical manual, because in order to detect emotions of severe nature, like mentally abnormal nature, it's very very difficult, because every particular emotions have got little small branches here and there, and it might fall into that particular or into some other level, or into some other personalities, like borderline personality. It comes from the cluster C, I suppose. Yeah, C. So these are like, these are all are the emotions, which is like the bubbles connected with one emotion to another emotions, one disorder to another disorder, and these are branching from different clusters. So there are only three clusters in DSM, that is Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, which talk about cluster A, cluster B, and cluster C. And these clusters have got, again, its variation into histrionic personalities, or probably borderline personalities, or probably antisocial personalities. So these are few of the frictions, which I keep forgetting which cluster belongs to what. But it's very interesting. But again, so this is what the entire branch of clinical is all about. So it's very important, if you wanted to treat someone or diagnose somebody, to know which cluster they fall into, and specifically from that particular cluster, like A, B, and C, in which exact bubble they belong to. And it's just a small friction of a changes, but that can move to another cluster, or probably to an associated bubble. So it's a very very detailed study, and those details are like the trait analysis, personality analysis, pattern of a lot of testings to be done, and from those tests, what are your analysis are, and those analysis fall into particular bubbles, and then from there you can pull them into the cluster, and then you can diagnose them. So it's very simple, but it's not very simple when you observe, because psychiatrists or psychologists cannot just, definitely cannot have any tools to inject them, or to give them medications, but they can only observe, they can study well, they can download and get that insights about how their reactions, how their actions are, and that's how they know what they're made of. But for that, it's like a lot of thorough studies and years of studies. So that's how it's been. I've spent almost, like, I would say 5 years and 3 years or so. Yeah, almost like 10 years in studying clinical psychology. Though I should have graduated much earlier time, but I took one entire year to study industrial psychology, then statistical psychology, and then to clinical psychology, which is of abnormals. But industrial is something work related, so that is very proactive in how you can, well, you cannot change anyone. All you have to do is to choose, select, train, and reject. So that's the only thing can exist in industry, because it's more of performance basis, and on a timely hours, what are your contribution of your performances, that has been calculated. So it's much more to look into the data analysis. That's what industrial psychology is all about. When you talk about statistics, again, it's applicable to every aspect of your life. The second branches of sociology, like the social aspects, connecting with counseling or connecting with those deprived society who need counseling can be treated with counseling, not with much more severe medications or concern. But abnormal is something which needed medications because it's years of deprivations, years of falling into certain categories and ill health, mental ill health that can cause to severe impairment to your mind and brain. Today what I'm experiencing is like, I'm being abandoned by so many people in my close proximity. It could be my family, friends, loved ones, or relationship. I hardly have a relationship now, but yeah, so it's just that abandonment is, what I keep watching about Prince Harry, and I feel like he's been abandoned very badly, in the entire process of, you know, moving him out of the royal family is kind of no understanding of abandonment. Well, the person doesn't understand whatever he has done, it just out of the frictions or out of the anxiety and feel good factor, whatever he said, because of his age, and also very mature guy, and not so adhere with the principles and restrictions and wanted to move out. And this anxiety and separation anxiety have given him today with a great punishment of abandonment, and that's really I can observe in each and every videos being shown on the YouTube, about his facial expressions, body gestures, or like feel of abandonment, because that's not what he been called for or what he been expected for. But he's very mature guy. Like he's very he don't foresee things. He don't respect anything, any hierarchy, and that's why he fallen into this place of abandonment. So I was observing him, a few of his videos, and I thought like it's a stage of severe abandonment issue and embarrassments too, because media is watching you, the entire world is watching you. There's no respect in your world life, in your life, or to you as a personality being thrown out from every part of the world. Um, Megan is giving the smile and strength, but even she knows she lost her games as well. So it's like, what will be the future of the kids? Because ultimatum is the parents' future relies upon, the parents' life is connected and tied with the kids' future. So what will be the future of the kids? So that is a question going in his mind. So it's a severe abandonment, guys. And like if nobody try to help him, he will be in a very severe concern. Even to see him working or being proactive in the rest of his life. And I think there will be a lot of issues happening within the marriage post whatever the consequences they are facing. But if they are able to overcome all those consequences, and please, even to Meghan Markle, this time try to be very honest with your emotions and with you as a person, because the mask things is fallen, and you have to step up as a real woman who's going to support Harry, because it's not easy to overcome all this embarrassment across the world. Guys, you understand when somebody humiliates you and rejects you onto your face, maybe 2-3 people you can ignore and just walk away, but in the end when you come back to your home, your people accept you, your parents accept you, and that's where you get your world, finally. But even your parents are treating you, outcast you and show to you on your face, just because you have done wrong of going against to the royal families, and you're not supposed to do that, but you have any which ways done. So it's the consequences you have to face, and you should be prepared to face it. However, it's not easy to overcome it. You need to step up your game now. Step up in a very strong way and much more mentally prepared, because both the personality I can keep watching, there's Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, both of them are alike each other. I could say, like, dark and the night, it's like light in the dark, or the light in the night, or in the in the night, whatever it could be, say, like light and dark, darker side. So I don't want it to symbolize it or defame it, but that's what it actually proved to be. Now, is the merge doesn't matter even if it is light and night, because both are the frictions required the universe to sustain, right? Without night, there is no, day. Also, and without day, only the day cannot fulfill your night routines, or your nightlife. So it's very important. It's a two combination, very strong and really contributory and very very important. So both the couple have to work really hard now for their children's life and for the future. And I guess, as being a king, as being a father, Charles is doing a great job. And like, I really adore him now, because it's not the one whom you've seen at the time of the controversy of Princess Diana. Is a real fatherhood is coming out with King Charles. Maybe as a king, who's gonna be ruling as president is nothing to do with that. But as a father and as a grandfather, he's extremely important character for Prince Harry. You should respect him. Should not go against to this person again, because it hurts. And I've just recently heard that he is diagnosed with cancer. So yeah, so we should always be supportive to your parents. That's the bottom line. That's the real lesson all about. So if you stop supporting your parents and going against to your parents, consequences will be even more severe. Now let's just talk about abandonment. What is the true cause of abandonment? It's like, abandonment is being observed as a pattern which is pretty much out there in the world. We all face abandonment. We do know what it is actually. It's because when we wanted to be part of a certain society and certain people and community and emotions, sharing the emotions, because your emotions are like having a repulse effect. When you don't like someone, equally that person also reject you, and then you feel, why he's been rejecting me, but you don't know, in hidden inside in your subconsciousness, you don't like that, and that's how you're giving that information back to the universe. I don't like this person, and that universe is coming back to or bringing that effect back to that the other end, that he doesn't like you, and so do but the effect is similar, so they also don't like you. Sometimes it goes other way around. You like the other person, but they don't like you, maybe because of your look, or maybe because of the way you talk, or maybe because the way you are from, you belong to, whatever it is, the root cause. So abandonment is a very core impact, of your internal world, your physical reality, your environmental, contributions, and your emotional upbringing, right? When in the beginning stage, those layers are not filled completely. When you need to love, you never got to love. When you should be nurtured well, you never been nurtured well. When you wanted to see your parents, you've been not asked to meet them. Or when you want to be with friends, you've been always rejected. So when whatever you ask as a normal human being, and you always get in return the deadlines or the rejections, or perhaps the answer is no, then the question is, you don't know the way to go, okay? And you are caged in a room which is full of dark, and you don't know whom to express, because whomsoever you're connecting, whomsoever you are relying, or whomsoever you are dependent, they all act distinctively to you. So even if you get one person, if not two, just one person to express it, and that person listens to you, that itself is enough. But in the advanced society, it's the pattern to be seen. Not much in the Indian community, but in these days, even the Indian community is acting more like in a Western. So, in this society, when people don't have time, they wanted to work, and there is a separation thing, divorce, and children are left behind, and all that stuff. There would be pattern of abandonment seen and observed, and this can lead to a severe impact to your mental health. It can be cause of anxiety disorders, can be cause of separation anxiety disorders, and can be and breaking point for psychopathic contributions and psychopathic behavior traits within the person. Also to to a greater extent neuroticisms as well. Not neurotic behavior, but psychopathic behavior and psychosism, and to some extent borderline personalities. uh, Not to some extent, but to a great extent, because borderline personality, you can see it in the adult ages. The real reason of borderline is the abandonment issue, and that you have been faced from the childhood trauma and abandonment from your loved ones, or and that can lead to when you grow up as a teenager or as an adult. It can be seen in your relationship patterns, or in your loved ones patterns, or your peer group, and that's how your requirement or your needs are being not met, and then you abandon yourself in order to meet other needs and other requirements, and then that goes into the borderline personality. So um, there are a lot of clusters to see, and each and every cluster, the baseline somewhere has one dot, and that is abandonment, and it can be seen because of abandonment issue. You have been caused with this and this and this is patterns, and it can be seen. It can contribute to n number of mental issues and problems as emotions. What you can do at this stage? Literal senses, you cannot change them. You cannot change the people who abandon you, because those people have their standpoint that they don't like you, and they don't like you. Even if you try to pretend to look good, or do good, or be good, or be like a joker to them, be like a joker, or be like clone to them, they will never gonna accept you, right? So that's been said and done. It's been done. You cannot do anything with them. So the only thing you have to do is to look for the replacement, or look a way out to a new direction, who can actually accept you, who can be like you. Now, one thing of the abandonment is like and dislikes, right? When a like is connected with a dislike, the answer is always negative. It's not positive. It's like plus and minus will always gives you minus. So minus to minus is plus, plus to plus is plus, right? So you need equal personality type. You need equal type of people can go along with your wavelength, and can understand you, can accept you, so that you are acceptable, right? And you will not feel a sense of abandonment with those type of people. Because people who are like you, like-minded like you, people are unlike-minded, they do have different traits altogether. Maybe they are not positive, they are negative. Maybe if they are positive, you are negative. So you need to identify what happened with this zone of abandonment. What really caused this factor happen? Is it I am negative somewhere, or they are positive, or they are negative and I am positive? So you need to detect this within your understanding, that who are they? Are they negative, or are they positive? But if they are negative, accept that consciously and wholeheartedly you are a positive person, and you have the whole right to be with the positive people only. Okay, and when you see the counterpart is negative, and you the counterpart is positive and you are negative, then you have to bring the change friction to see what their positive qualities are, what their positive personalities are, and how you can learn from those positive traits to get some inputs, some downloads within your personality, bring that change within you, so that even if a small level is being met, just a friction dot is met with the two people, that can be connected. All right, but not for a long run, because in order to have equilibrium and a like-mindedness, you need to have all the parameters to be met in the counterpart. So you can always get abandonment within your environment, within your society in general, and you can understand, you can do the SWOT analysis, understand what are their positiveness, what are their weaknesses, what are their threats, and what their opportunities are, and then understand how you can do the changes and how you can replace them. And if you're unable to replace, despite you try your best, just leave them then and there. All right, you can do only this much. The rest will be handled by the universe and by the by nature. And one thing for sure, universe put you in abandonment situationship to make you realize that you do not belong in here. All right, so the moment you feel abandonment, walk away, and that's the best expression ever. That's the best way out, and that's how you can live your life, you can lead your path. If you feel threatened and abandoned with certain peer groups or with certain people, in my world everybody have abandoned me, and I do not understand why. I've done pretty good job as being a daughter, as being a daughter-in-law of someone, then being divorced, but I stood from all that turmoils and separations and depression in my life, and then I fought back very strongly for my kid. But when he grown up, he abandoned me, and though I feel like I'm the person who abandoned him, but on the contrary, now he know that he can use that card to play very well, to get what he wanted, because in the end of the day he got the answer to say that you people abandoned me because you people left me and gone, and you both are being separated in your two different world. So he's playing his cards well, and I don't say anything because he has a whole right to say whatever he wants to, but it's too much, then you just say stop it. You better learn what we have contributed to your life, and you don't have sense of respect for giving us back, then it's your choice and your world, because a teenager understand where he stands for and what are his bodily needs, or what are his emotional needs, or what are his mental needs are. And if you wanted to meet everything, you just cannot hold the hand of one person and compel them to do every aspects for their needs to be met. Somewhere you need to be responsible in order to meet your needs, and that's how you become an adult. If you still don't, you remain in the teenage body, but you act as a child. So that is kind of like a reverse effect onto your personality. So even to my parents, both my parents, I keep giving, keep doing, keep contributing, supporting to them, but they never said thank you in their livelihood, or in ever in their in my consciousness. They have called me and they kissed me and said, like, you got a very happy birthday, or my girl, you should be blessed, and you should get everything. Sometimes when I and my mom fight, and as I mean, I feel like downsized, she just give me like a little bit of blessing and let her live long. So that's a grace of the heart of a mother. But too much is not good, and I do understand that even I blame her um, for many things in life which I do not completely accept it. And I feel like she's overdoing or overacting onto it, but I feel like I keep understanding her, and that's like I can't do anything because she lived in this personality for over 65 years, and it's very hard to change her, right? So you can do some contribution, show a little helping hand and gesture. Just hold my hand, walk away this side, and come over, so that you will be safe and you will be protected. But still, they try to trash you back and blame you, and then hit you back, and all that kind of humiliations. And whenever they want, they try to hold your hand, and once they are all right, they just push you back. Those kind of gestures is not acceptable, guys. One thing you have to understand, you cannot use anybody, and whoever uses anyone is a very, very wrong thing. It's a very wrong thing. Even today, some of my friends are do very much contributing to my life, and every time my consciousness says like, you're using him, and it's like, no, I'm not using him. I'm really helpless. And it teaches you never to use anyone, because even if you use anybody, make sure you pay them whenever the time is right. And that's a law of nature, because small little things you left in this life. Your soul is gone, your body is dusted and gone, but the karma remains somewhere as an energy, as a story symbolizing about you in the atmosphere, right? And that comes back in some other soul, in some other shape or form, to make you realize that lessons not learned. So ready, set to learn again, right? So it's like, yeah, the universe is abundance, right? So the universe, the mother nature, will never abandon you. So instead of getting abandoned with the people can abandon you. Relationships can definitely abandon you. Um, but universe will never abandon you. It only have abundance to provide you. So except for the fact that the replacement for abandonment is only to seek abundance, and that abundance can be through wealth, through love, through emotions, through beautiful relationship, through prosperities, through materialistic needs, through these days popularity, and whatever requirements you have. So the universe is the driving force can provide to you. So you don't have to always get hijacked in abandonment zone always. The more you knock the door, the more you get rejected, and the more you get abandoned. Better let it die and open your heart to the universe and embrace the universe within you, because the universe knows to the best what you need, and it will show you the path. And that's the abundance what you needed. It's not like millions and billions of dollars you collect. It's a universe that holds within you is the true abundance, and you can stand strong and seek for the replacement, because abandonment is a word which is dead end. You cannot die with the dead end. There is no way out. The best is to look for life, and that can be replaced with abundance And abundance is not in the monetary leaves or in the box of dollars, but that abundance you can get with the universe in many shape or form, with different emotions, people, place, materials, and God knows what, right? So keep looking for replacement for your feeling of abandonment, which is a dark hole waiting you, because that's a lost thing and cannot be replaced. If you want to fix that hole, just fix it with the universe. Ask for the abundance, and heal this abandonment issue. Ask for the answer, and the universe opens up to you when you open up back to the universe. Ask for healing your zone, which is abundant badly, and the universe gives you back, and that is where you belong to. So keep watching on to my next insight. However, right after this video, I'm going to be doing a small interpretation upon my favorite personalities. So keep watching. This is me, Sharon, saying you. Ciao.